Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and I've just watched the Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich game, and yeah, it was just happened at 5:30 in the UK time. Pretty disappointed overall, I think, I'd fair to say. I much would have preferred Borussia Dortmund to win this match and make the title race a lot more interesting going forward. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. It just was one of them games, really. I think this was a game that was affected with the fact it had no crowd. Usually the Borussia Dortmund crowd would be well up for this game and they'd proper get behind the team. I watched a game between the two last season that Borussia Dortmund won 3-2. Twice coming from behind, they were 1-0 and 2-1 down in the match and they won 3-2. That was in November 2018, so it was a long time ago. But I mean, disappointed though, I must say, with the match as a whole. I'd probably say. I think Bayern Munich was very comfortable in the match, and we'll get to the goal in a moment as well. But a 1-0 win it was for Bayern Munich. They kept a clean sheet. The first time Dortmund have failed to score a home goal in, I think it's 38 home league matches or something like that. Crazy records, to be honest with you. But yeah, Dortmund were missing some key players though. Witsel was on the bench, Sancho was on the bench, Emre Can was on the bench. So, it was one of them, to be honest with you, where it just didn't really click for Dortmund today. And no offence to watching this game, but you never really felt like there was that much on the line in the game. And again, I do think that comes with the effect of having no crowd. When there's no crowd, Dortmund would have been willed on. It just didn't really look like they had. This was a game, if Dortmund won, the title race would have been wide open, but Dortmund never really looked like scoring in this match. Bar a couple of saves by Manuel Neuer, they never looked like really ever scoring. It was a comfortable professional away performance from Bayern. But as for the standout players on the pitch, I think there was a few good performers really. Piszczek for Dortmund was fantastic. He made two or three great challenges and a goal line clearance in the first half. Then you've got Mats Hummels was excellent as well. Like, he proper bossed the defence today, put in a proper leader performance to Dortmund really, and he's been so important on his return to Dortmund. But unfortunately, on this occasion today, he didn't quite. It just didn't quite, he didn't quite manage to get his side over the line. But he himself was excellent though. Also, Emre Can tried when he came on, but nothing was really coming off for him. And the most frustrating thing for Dortmund is it just wasn't Erling Haaland's day up front. I mean, if you're going to judge Erling Haaland as one of the best talents in the world, this is the sort of game you're judging him off. Like, this is the game that you say, it's Bayern at home, it's the big one. It just didn't go for Haaland today. He just didn't have much at all. He had a couple of sniffs at goal, but bar one shot that he had that was cleared off the line in the opening minute, it just never went for him, to be honest with you. And it's just what a shame. It's a real shame for him because he went off injured as well in this match, which certainly was a massive blow for Dortmund. But, you know, overall, I think for Dortmund, you'd probably say the standouts were Hummels, Piszczek, and I think De Hood did the best he could as well. De Hood was another player who really tried to get them going. Hazard and Brandt both had promise. Brandt looks a very good little flair player, to be fair to him. But it wasn't Dortmund's day. Nothing really clicked for them. And yeah, as for Bayern, standout performers, I mean, Boateng was absolutely excellent for them. Jerome Boateng was superb at the back. They didn't have a sniff against them, so thanks to him. One of the performers that caught my eye and arguably given man of the match was Alphonso Davies. He was brilliant. I mean, for his, just the composure he showed and everything really, he was excellent today. And another thing I was disappointed with for Dortmund was usually a lot of their play comes from their two fullbacks, Hakimi and Guerrero. We never saw enough of them today really, and Bayern really nullified that threat really well. And I feel like when they were taken out of the game, they didn't have a lot of other options. But yeah, I mean, could sit here and go on about the game a lot, but I mean, I will cut straight to the goal because there wasn't an awful lot of chances in the game, and the best ones fell to Bayern Munich. But I mean, the goal was Joshua Kimmich, and to have the audacity to try what he did was quite something, but to pull it off was another thing. So he got it on the edge of the box, went for an audacious chip. I guess you can say Eric Cantona-esque back against Sunderland years ago. He went for a chip, and the keeper Berkey got his hand to it, but that hand wasn't enough as it still managed to go in. I think it's a tale of two things really. You can argue that it's a very good goal because to have the audacity to try that was even something. On the flip side, though, you can always turn around and say the keeper's got to be doing better. and that's the way I felt about it personally. I feel like it is a good goal, but for me, the keeper, he'd be disappointed with that. But no doubt about that. He's got a full hand to it, and he still let it go in. Yeah, disappointing really for him. But yeah, we'll just have to say that you got to give Kimmich a lot of credit in this situation, really, to have the option to try that. But I mean, Lewandowski was quite quiet, surprisingly. I really thought if Bayern were going to win this game, he'd be a big part of it. But no, he was quite quiet today, Lewandowski. Again, nullified, though, by a brilliant Mats Hummels performance. So, yeah, I mean, both sets of defences played really well. That's one thing I will say, is defensively both teams were good. The goal from Bayern, the keeper will be disappointed he hasn't saved it. But it's still a very good... To try that from Kimmich was quite something as well. But yeah, that's overall, that's all really to say about the match. I mean, disappointed. I think the crowd not being there really affected this match. To not have the yellow wall behind Dortmund, they did look like they lacked something going forward. And when I've watched the Bundesliga a lot recently, a lot of away teams seem to be coming out on top. So I'm not sure that's due to the lack of crowd, but surely now 7 points clear. The league is once again Bayern Munich's. This was a huge chance for Dortmund, and I really thought they'd win or get at least a draw today. I never really thought Bayern would win this match, but they did enough. And you've got to say, in the end, you've got to give Bayern credit for a professional performance, really. But Dortmund will be very disappointed with their efforts in the end. But yeah, that's the game. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, what did you guys think of the game? Let me know below, and I'll be back doing more match reports in the coming future. But this is the first game I've fully reported on that I've just watched, so it remains very fresh in my mind, which is always good. But yeah, I'll be back soon, and thank you for watching.